I was told that after 2 beers, I wouldn't be so scared of telling a story, and I've only had one, so you'll have to bear with me. This is a story about a kind of scar that comes from a personal relationship. There's also a real scar that's involved right at the base of my thumb, so it's kind of interesting that way. Odysseus found out that his scars allowed his nurse to say who he was, and for most of us, it's the scars that come from those personal relationships that really matter. I was going through a divorce, which is going to leave a scar, as you probably know. And after negotiating for a few years, it was finally coming to a close. And I'd spent most of the year before this thinking about how would I mark this in my life? Not just by signing papers, not just by, telling my friends. I thought maybe some event. What kind of event? Well, I thought for a while, and I didn't think it should involve my soon-to-be or then ex as part of the relationship because I was building a new life, something apart from her. Then I got invited to come to a talk at Dickinson College by a Wiccan. I don't remember the woman's name. She was a witch, and she wrote a book called Truth or Dare. And she gave a talk in the Religion Society series at Dickinson, and they filled the auditorium. There was one, fundamentalist Christian there screaming about how she was a witch and she should get out of there. And she was so gentle with him. She told him that what he read was a mistranslation, and it really wasn't about witches that the Bible was opposed to anyway. But the cool thing about her talk is mainly what she did was to invent healing rituals. A couple examples. One is just a story of how you celebrate a woman's first period, becoming a woman. The daughter and her mother are tied by the wrists with a little red ribbon, and they run until the mother can't run anymore. The daughter, she runs further. I thought that was a great idea. She told a story about people that had been subject to huge forest fires in California. And she was invited in the town to try to figure out something to help heal the town. And she got everyone in the town to bring something they owned that was of value to them, and they were going to burn them all in a bonfire. And everyone was engaged, everyone was involved, everyone thought they're losing something important, but they're all doing it together. So this ended up being a wonderful healing ritual for the town. What kind of healing ritual can you have for a divorce? Well, my wife, I have to say ex-wife, because when you're in other relationships, you can never refer to that person as your wife when they no longer are, even when you're using past perfect. But I had this bottle of Egre Bicover, bull's blood of Bicover, that I'd been given to a colleague when I got a major promotion at work. One of the few things my ex-wife did not contest, I had a bunch of souvenirs from international travel, and she wanted me to put those in a box so she could pick her share. And she picked her share and then left them in a cardboard box in the garage for the next 2 months. But this one I kept. Bull's blood of Bicover, given to me by a colleague who was Hungarian, and he actually smuggled this bottle out of Hungary while it was still Iron Curtain. You can now get it just about any liquor store. But this bottle was really special to me, so I thought this needed to be involved. Well, this Wiccan had told me that a purification ritual was to take ox blood and dump it over your head, sitting in a trench while there's a full moon overhead. Well, I thought, bull's blood's pretty close. I'll use this. So I carried this bottle around for most of the summer. And there was a number of occasions on which I thought I'd bring it in and then forgot it, or that it was something else was happening and it just wasn't appropriate. But finally, I was with some friends at a house in Virginia. Sunday night, there was only 3 of us left, differing in age by the guy that owned the cabin was 20 years older than me, and one of the other people there was 20 years younger, both good friends of mine. We've been drinking beer, sitting around this sort of mushroom-shaped little rock table. That was where we'd set our drinks down, where we were talking and just hanging out. And I thought, this would be the perfect time. I should do this now. So I told him this whole story about what I'd been through and what I'd thought about and hearing this Wiccan talk. And then I went and got the bottle. Well, I thought, I need to do something like dramatic with this bottle. So when I brought it up the table, I smashed the neck off the bottle, lifted it and poured some of it over my head, and then poured some glasses. It was old Hungarian glass bottle. When I lifted it over my head, it ripped a big spot in my thumb. A few days later, had to get stitches. I mean, it just, was a whole emergency evening. And I had this brace on it. And I'm right-handed, so you get a brace on your right hand. I would tell students of mine that, as you sew a monkey's fingers together, its brain's representation of the fingers are different. So you got it braced, and you have to grasp things. And you learn a different kind of grasping. But after about a week, I realized when my grasping was with these two fingers rather than the thumb, I didn't really have a grip on much of anything at all.